All right, now let's take you to the stock market performance, where equities market closed on a negative note as the Nigeria Exchange All-Share Index depreciated by 0.15% to close at 46,893.86 basis points as against 0.01% appreciation recorded previously. Its year-to-date return currently stands at 9.78%. However, market breadth closed positive as Better Glass led 18 gainers as against 16 losers, topped by Len Africa at the end of the day session, and improved performance when compared with the previous outlook. Market turnover closed negative as volume moved up by 103.22% as against 17.52% downtick recorded in the previous session. While Transcorp, Sterling Bank and Fidelity Bank were the most active to boost market turnover, Seplat and Zenith Bank topped market value list. Cornerstone leads the list of active stocks that recorded impressive volume spike at the end of the day session. Now we'll look at the market summary, where the all-share index dipped 0.15% to close at 46,893.86 points. At the deals were 5,163. That's an increase of 33.31%, and the volume traded were 359.89 million. That's an upward swing of 103.22%. And the value traded 2.61 billion naira, a downward swing of 37.54%. And market capitalization closed at 25.27 trillion naira. That's a dip of 0.15%. And now we'll take you to the sector movement, where we see the NSE 30 closing at 1,087.68, a dip of 0.01%. The banking sector lost 0.06% to close at 441.49, and the insurance sector saw a dip of 58.09% to close at 185.14. And then also we see the industries losing 0.12% to close at 2,114.19. And now we'll take you to the top gainers of the day to see those who smiled to the bank yesterday. We see the Better Glass closing at 5 naira 25 kobo. That's a 9.92% increase. And then PZ also gained 9.68% to close at 10 naira 20 kobo. And also livestock gained 9.03% to close at 1 naira 69 kobo. Jay's Bank gained 6.06% to close at 70 kobo. Time now to bring Ambrose Omodion on board, Chief Research Officer at Invest Data Consultant Limited, to help us better understand what happened at the market yesterday. Thank you so much, Ambrose, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
Now, equities market on the Nigeria Exchange opened the week lower as we see investors losing 37.93 billion naira and, of course, dropping the index by 0.15% on Monday. What's your impression about the current negative trend in the market?
Yeah, actually, yesterday market pulled back again was a lot of price adjustment and profit taking in the market. Yesterday, if you recall that Zenith Bank and the Trading-Analysing investment was adjusted for their dividend payout of 2 naira 80 kobo and 40 kobo respectively. That also put pressure on the index because prices were adjusted of almost, you see the market of the price adjusted from Zenith Bank and that of the Trading-Analysing investment. On that note, in addition to profit taking activities, market was down. But I will tell you that yesterday we saw a mixed sentiment on the improved side, because yesterday we saw about 58% buy position and just a 2% sell position on the market. That is that buyers are coming to the market to take charge of the market, and that is as a result of the last days of earnings submission. As we speak now, the earnings season is gradually coming to an end with those December year-end submitting their results between now and Thursday. On that note, investors are also trying to take advantage of this earnings to also reposition their portfolio against the new quarter that we're entering in few days now. For that, market was direction. But at the end of the day, market form a candlestick that called hammer. That means market resisted further decline. Even yes, we saw that yes, it closed on 0.15% yesterday. But see, we look at the beginning of the day, in the morning, the market was almost like 0.65. But because buyers took advantage of the pullback we saw on Thursday last week, and the marginal, open we saw kind of idea. People are taking ahead of this last minute earnings submission that will be between now and Thursday. That's why so. But for me, I that trend of positive trend also come back today. But we see that buyers took charge of market despite that it closed on the downtrend. We also see a signal that firms are starting entering the market again. That our money flow index are started looking up again. And from yesterday, it tells that we are seeing gradual flow of funds into the equity market. Knowing that we speak now globally, the fixed income market, the bond market has been kind of in this direction because of inflation. On that note, that means sentiment and flattish movement in that physical market is also will be a plus for the market, especially for those companies that their dividend yields are high. For me, what we are seeing now is part of all of the market. Market really, is in a decline phase for anything to go further down. That is, the market is looking for additional strength that puts these earnings we're expecting, and also vision for end of the quarter and for the quarter two portfolio position, and that will also put the market for between now and Thursday.
Okay, and now, although the market turnover closed in the red, we see the market breadth closing positive as the shares of Better Glass led 18 gainers as against 16 losers, stopped by Len Africa at the end of the day. What does this mean for the market?
Yeah, actually, for the Better Glass, they will tell you that whenever a company perform well or kind of surprise the market with their earnings or their payout, market will respond. Better Glass declare, dividends of 1 naira, 10 kobo, and a bonus of 1 for 5. Market is responding to that result. That's corporate action. That's also. But one thing that you know in the Better Glass that stock is not it's not flexible, or the volatility is very very slow because that stock was there for a period of time before you can see it trigger up or down. We don't see it trigger up on that stock because of this dividend or corporate action or different announcement. For me, for investors, such stock will be there for a while and waiting. But it's good that you gain almost 9% yesterday. But a lot of the declaration of 1 naira, 10 kobo, and bonus of 1 for 5. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a break now. When we come back, there are still many areas to touch on, especially on the performance of the market yesterday. Ambrose will still be with us. That will be after this break. Please stay with us. Still Business Breakfast on iBrand TV, and we're still looking at the stock performance yesterday, and Ambrose Modion is still with us right here on the phone line. Now, Ambrose, let's look at the other gainers. Aside Better Glass, you have 4 other stocks, including PZ with 90 kobo gain at the end of the day. What is the level of support the stocks are enjoying here?
Yeah, PZ for the last 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and yesterday, we have seen that stock maintaining a kind of a positive sentiment, and this as a result of the impressive Q3 number that was released by this company on Thursday. Market, like I said, when a company performs, the market will always reward you. Also, when you did mobile, it will also treat you that way. For me, they are seeing the pointer that on that strength of the number, before expecting dividend and anything, since they take quarter results for their financial year. But I will also say that looking at the number they released, that there's what we call extra income that came to the account. So that investors are thinking because of that number is expecting a huge dividend because these are third quarter, these are next side. So I will tell you that already we have seen that number we are in there is not from the real profit or because there was some kind of recovery or also access disclosure that brings that kind of impressive number. But it's good that market reacts. This market also appreciate when they see a good number. For livestock space, livestock space for me is becoming attractive because of the low price there. It's a kind of vaccine because it's stock that dropped from around the 2 naira 40 kobo to almost 150, 152. Investors or traders see that as attractive at this price, knowing that there are full year results on that way. For me, that is what we are seeing in the market.
Now, on the flip side, that's on the loser side, we see the shares of Len Africa losing 21 kobo on Monday, more than what it gained last week by almost 10% to close below 2 naira. What's the current level of negative trend in the stock?
Actually, in this kind of market that is volatile, when you make profit, you are about to get profit. I will tell you that for Len Africa, it's profit taking because Len Africa, it's one of the match accounts, one of the match accounts that were expecting their unaudited account in the month of April. But the pullback, as we saw yesterday in the stock, as a result of profit taking, it's making the stock attractive for those that want to play ahead of their earnings expectation. Because we're saying that their full year results will be in the market between now and end of June. But their unaudited will come between the month of April, and this is the right time for investors or traders to position ahead of that number. And also don't forget that this is a company that also is having a plan for foreign market activities and also talking to another company for acquisition. There's a lot of things going for the company as we speak now. So investors should be carried along so that they will see what they are positioning because stable investment is against the future and against tomorrow.
So what are your predictions on how the market will perform today?
Yeah, I said yesterday why the market was in red yesterday was a result of the markdown in price of Zenith Bank and Custodian. But today, we're not expecting any compared to price they adjusted. And we're seeing, kind of a renewed buying interest from the investing public. That tells you that today, we must likely see the market looking up to the north. It might not be a huge return, but